set. Alright, cool. So you know how I use Akasan reactions. I am Akasan.
Boy, if
Akasan's Honest Reactions. I am Akasan.
And I am Tyrone Magnus.
The two titans of the Reactor verse finally together. So we did the talking shit on your channel.
Yes.
But I realized the fans would fucking kill us if we actually didn't do at least one reaction, one-on-one with the red one.
They wouldn't kill anything. They owe us nothing but their leeches.
He's not wrong. 10 worst world champions in WWE history. I can think of a few actually. I wouldn't say worst, but
Jack Swagger.
I was gonna say Jericho. Not worst, but one of the most transitional champions. You know he's champion.
Nah, I'd say Jericho, Sheamus. There's probably a bunch of bums in there that I don't even remember though.
See, you got the new. See, I stopped watching wrestling for a long time, but like, you know, we've had some good ones, but we've had some bad ones.
This is
like,
the 10 worst.
Yeah, okay, the 10 top worst. So you're probably gonna know a lot more than I am.
I bet you Swagger's in there.
Okay.
Definitely.
See, I don't even know who Swagger is.
Oh.
What a great reaction this is gonna be.
They know who he is.
Alright, here we go. What culture?
Now look, I understand that not every world championship is as prestigious as a WCPW title. Fun fact, the only criteria you have to meet before your belt becomes a world championship, you just have to call it a world championship. Job done. Thing is, despite the odd bit of nonsense booking the world titles in WWE,
hey, my belt.
Heavyweight championship, they both meant a lot and deserve champions who can carry them to glory. The Rock, John Cena, Steve Austin, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, all look right at home with gold around their waists. These guys, not so much. These are the guys for whom wearing either of the big belts never felt quite right.
Jack Swagger.
That was him.
Clothes and making him late for a big meeting at the office, and so now he drinks in his car in the evenings, and it's your fault. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are the 10 worst world champions in WWE history. Number 10, The Big Show. The Big Show is a tall boy, best known for being the star of sensational cinematic spectacular, knucklehead, and also some wrestling. The Big Show has always been so tall that I genuinely think you could hollow him out and build studio apartments in him, but for some reason he's never made a good WWE champion. His first WWE title win came after he was plopped into the Survivor Series main event by surprise in 1999. Surprise! It's the big lad from next door. You have to play with him now. His run wasn't great, having a bad match with the boss man.
That was really early when he was champion.
Before losing the belt on Raw to Triple H. He won the belt 3 years later at Survivor Series again, beating Brock Lesnar and holding the belt for a mere month. He then held the World Heavyweight belt twice, the first time at TLC 2011, losing in seconds later to a cashing-in D-Bride. The next and last world title reign for the Big Show ended when he lost the belt on SmackDown to Alberto Del Rio after 2 defenses against Sheamus, one of which featured a bizarre comedy big chair. Oh dear. Number 9, Dolph Ziggler. Now this is just a sad story.
I have no idea. Yeah?
He
just didn't last.
Pace for 9 months before finally cashing on Alberto Del Rio the night after WrestleMania 29 to a giant ovation, and then he was sidelined with a concussion before a ladder match at Extreme Rules, returned to defend his belt for the first time and payback when he immediately lost it.
But he does have that kind of WWE look though.
Before shifting to a feud with AJ Lee and Big E. He would never again climb back to world championship level. Now, several superstars have seen their championship hopes dashed by injury, but at least guys like Daniel Bryan got at least one bloody title defense. Heartbreaking timing. Number 8, RVD.
He wasn't good.
Robert Van Dam became the first man in
he couldn't carry himself.
Like ECW champion at the same time. Really. Having an ECW One Night Stand 2000.
I remember that shit was so dope. When John Cena threw his shirt and people like throwing his shit. That was great.
Sabu by policemen in the car was a bunch of other pills. And just like that, Roberto ended his career high. Pun very much intended. He lost the WWE Championship on an episode of Raw, the ECW title the next day on ECW taping, and then got suspended for 30 days. After a brief 22-day run, RVD never reclaimed either title. Number 7, Diesel. Kevin Nash is a very tall legend of the business. He's too sweet,
kinda
being
like
sexy,
it.
and
Yeah?
daddy cool.
See, I can't remember, but I can imagine. He was kind of McMahon's big dream. Like, that's what he wanted.
Backlund in 8 seconds on a house show at Madison Square Garden. After that, he'd hold the belt for almost a full year, which sounds really great, but no. See, that just happened to be a very, very bad year for WWE in business terms. With Diesel on top, wrestling top-notch matches against, for example, Mabel at SummerSlam, that is a tasty milkshake. House show attendance dropped significantly, so much that they had to stop doing B shows for a while, meaning a lot of mid and lower card wrestlers lost out on a payday. Diesel's limited drawing ability became a joke in the industry, with WCW officials wondering how much longer can the WWF run on Diesel power.
I see.
Number 6, Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero.
I didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
Wow.
That would be recognized as being much better than he was if he didn't share a surname with one of the greatest to ever step into a ring. While Eddie eventually reached the mountaintop to claim WWE Championship gold, the only world title Chavo would hold in WWE would be an ECW Championship, which by 2008 had lost a lot of its prestige. He would successfully defend it twice against CM Punk, good start, and then he'd lose it in 8 bloody seconds to Kane at WrestleMania 24. While Daniel Bryan proved that it's possible to come back from such a crushing loss at a WrestleMania, Chavo would never again touch WWE World Championship gold. Number 5, Rey Mysterio. Despite being a
I can imagine. He didn't seem like, it was too much.
Rey Mysterio, the master of the 619 and noted Booyaka enthusiast, managed to accrue 3 world championships during his career. Unfortunately, all of them were fairly pants. His first came when he won the World Heavyweight title in a 9-minute triple threat at WrestleMania 22. The reign lasted 3 months, but he was then jobbed out to big dudes for the majority of that time and managed only 1 clean pay-per-view defense. The second reign came in 2010 when he beat Jack Swagger. That only lasted for 1 month this time. Finally, Ray won his first and his only WWE title in 2011 after CM Punk walked out with the belt at Money in the Bank. That reign lasted about an hour and a half before John Cena wrestled him for the title. He just won and pinned him. John Cena is a babyface. Number 4, Ezekiel Jackson. Look, let's just preface this by saying in Lucha Underground, Big Rip was fucking great. However, in WWE, Ezekiel Jackson was a tiny bit of a turd salad. He didn't really have much character. He was just a big, angry dude. And also, it's worth pointing this out, he had never been involved in extreme wrestling in his life. Keep that in mind when I tell you that Ezekiel Jackson was crowned the last ever ECW champion. Yep, on the last episode of the WWE ECW reboot, which was at this point pretty much dead in the water, Jackson beat Christian to win his first and only world title in the company. That world title has been held by Sabu, Terry Funk, and Taz. Oh, and then after being placed on Jackson's shoulders, that world title was immediately retired. He didn't
Okay.
belt other than rob the Christian of some legacy with this man. Number 3, Vince McMahon.
I guess so, technically,
The inside of his heart, and whenever you look into his eyes, he robs 1 hour of your lifespan and adds it to his. So of course Vince McMahon made himself a world champion. Not once, sodding twice. The first came when he pinned Triple H on an episode of SmackDown in 1999 as a result of interference from Stone Cold Steve Austin to vacate the belt the next Monday on Raw, but at least that provided a classic moment, right? Well, then McMahon was booked to win the ECW Championship in 2007, the poor ECW Championship. This time, it definitely did not produce a classic moment, and Vince held the belt for a shuffling 35 days before losing it again. Number 2, Jack Swagger. What is there to say about Jack Swagger?
I don't even know this dude.
Title run. He cashed in 2 days after he won the briefcase at WrestleMania 26, beating an injured Chris Jericho to claim his only world title. The reign lasted 84 days, and in that time he did beat Randy Orton to retain it, but at no point during his run did he really look like a world champion. He was green. He didn't carry himself like a champion. His promos were homeopathy levels of weak. His win-loss record was only 5 wins and 12 losses. He just didn't have a champion's swagger, ironically enough.
Really?
He had 2 successful defenses on pay-per-view, and one of them
Nice little dog. Really?
He surprised Mysterio, failed to
Woo! I have noticed that. That was kind of a given.
I mean, just
the
great KHALI, the man who knew only one wrestling move, and that was a karate chop that moved slowly. Erosion.
Yeah,
2 gimmicks, tall, and the word "Raw." After being on TV long enough for everyone to clock.
He kind of reminds me of Roman Reigns.
KHALI won a 20-man battle royale to win the World Heavyweight title, recently vacated by the Edge. And so began a series of bad times. A 7-minute title defense of the Great American Bash was so slow that like it took place under fucking water. A SummerSlam World title defense against DQ, and then he dropped it a month later. It was awful. It was just awful, guys. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? About it? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
He stayed pretty current.
I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com.
Yeah.
He stayed pretty current.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was like, I've seen the other watch cultures that like really go back in the past. I'm like, God damn, I did not know that.
He at least went back to like the Attitude Era, kind of.
All right, well, let's reverse it then. Who would you say, who are some of the most memorable, like who would you say is the top memorable champion?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The Rock.
The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Triple H.
I would say I prefer Triple H to most.
Ultimate Warrior. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. John Cena. Randy Orton.
Randy Orton was not coming to mind for me.
I liked John Cena at one time. That's the reason why I named him.
Okay. If you had to pick.
Batista.
If you had to pick between. So obviously Hulk Hogan.
He's memorable for like a double.
Hulk Hogan transcended an era and such. But between The Rock and Stone Cold, who transcended as a champion? Who was the more memorable champion that made the brand, basically?
Well, yeah, it was Stone Cold first. I mean, he really did kind of usher in that era along with DX and everything.
Yeah.
It was him. Rock took over later.
Yeah.
I've seen articles arguing over who was actually more popular because at one time The Rock did.
Yeah, he was
surpass his.
I would say though that The Rock as a wrestler and as an entertainer,
as an all-around entertainer,
people saw him like that, not really as like a wrestling.
That's the reason why he's doing what he's doing now. He's more, able to cross the lines. You know?
Whereas it's weird because the Undertaker has always been around, but you don't really like. A wrestling fan see him as a staple of WWE. Yeah. But when it comes to like pushing the brand.
Well, at one time the company wanted to go behind him, but he had said that Vince said that he didn't think that his character was the right to lead the company. You know, the whole dark horizon. Because I remember when The Undertaker was like #1. I remember that time.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself, they weren't saying this then.
This is when he had the rude and like the...
No, it wasn't. It was before that. It was the purple gloves. Yeah,
I got it. It makes sense.
Remember how popular he was.
Yeah, I remember.
Like the commercials revolved around him, and I remember it just never. It was there, and then it just never went that direction.
Pushed through.
And then years later, I found out that's what he said. So yeah.
Now here's the one I think a lot of Magnus would say. Even regardless of how you feel about the man, would you say that John Cena is the best champion for business?
No, not at all. Okay. He never was. After he dropped the whole Thugonomics same thing, which actually worked for me at that time.
Yeah, me too.
He absolutely, when he became white bread, apple pie, he was fucking horrible for business. Everybody, when more than half of your audience is booing the champion the fuck out of the building, they're not good for business. Fuck John Cena. How about that? Alright, fuck him.
That was my little revenge for bringing up BVS last night. Yeah,
Bat Fleck, best Batman of all time.
Fuck Bat Fleck. Akasan. Woo! Red Nation, stand up, speak us. Let us know. Who do you think? What about the wrestling champions? Do you like? Do you hate? Do you want to see back? Do you want to see a return? Just let us know. Tyrone, man, I appreciate it, man. Our first reaction together.
First full deal,
real reaction. I hope in the future we'll get to do a few more.
So I'm coming to Japan to see exactly what's going on over there.
And I will bring all the bitches.
Mount Fuji meets Space Mountain.
Woo! We out, guys. Peace.
After an arduous journey, my movie finally made it to Japan. And without naming names, I'm completely out of budget for my sequel, but I need to find some buddy movie talent. So I'm reaching out to Akasan, the red-dreaded beast himself, to see if we can find me some movie stars. Let's do this, Japan!